Good evening, and welcome back to the farm. In this case, the farm office. We're having a weather event tonight. Little story. As my 2-year-old granddaughter and I were walking around the farm, looking at the goats, chickens, and cows, stuff you do with your grandkids, she started running towards one of the areas where we grow our greens, and she ran up and she plucked out a single plant. Well, since we don't pick greens by pulling up entire plants, I thought this was a little unusual, and even at her age, she would know not to do this. But she handed me the plant and asked me to cut off the dirty part. The dirty part in this case, of course, where the roots were. And so I did, and so there was only a single stem left. After handing it back to her, she got this big smile on her face and started walking and then running towards our house and not even looking back. Now, that's very odd because she doesn't run around by herself, especially, around the livestock and anything else. But after being maybe 10-15 yards ahead of me, she stopped and looked at me and said, "Oh no." Look, she's only 2 years old. She only knows a couple hundred words. But at that point, she started crying. And she was really upset. She was holding the kale like it was the most precious thing on earth. And with tears in her eyes, she handed me a plant that had broken. After watching this, I was still kind of wondering what was going on. But I told her Grandpa can fix it, and proceeded to cut it into 2 pieces and handed it back to her. This seemed to placate her, and, well, life was good again. Once we entered the house, she immediately went to the cupboard and asked for a drink of water. So I reached up and got a cup, and she said, "No, Grandpa, that was too big." Thought, okay. And then she immediately pointed at an old coffee cup, one we've had around here for 20 years. And then she asked for water again. So I gave her the coffee cup with water in it, and she proceeded to walk over to the table and set it down, still not drinking any of the water. And then, to my surprise, she put the kale in the cup, smiled and said, "This is for Grandma. This will make her feel better," and smiled. In this complicated world, we sometimes don't stop long enough to enjoy the important things in life, like a 2-year-old's love for her grandmother. Until next time, I'll see you down at the barn.